Berlin is a great city for bikes. Mine has been broken for a year. I need to like shut up to all my friends about it because I keep complaining about my broken bike. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Nay, and today we're going to be answering 20 questions that all of you have asked on YouTube and Instagram in 20 different places around Berlin. I'm going to be exploring the West. I'm never here, so I'm really excited. This is our first location. It's Café Strauss. It's one of my favorite places. I think it's so cozy, especially in the autumn. Okay, let's go. And on to the first question, which is, where do you get your style inspiration from? And for me, the number one source is probably Instagram and just following people on there that I think have a really cool style. And I also like following designers, so it's kind of cool to see what's coming up in the fashion world. Berlin streets. On to question number 2. A lot of people have been asking me what my current favorites are, like what my favorite music is or movies I've been enjoying. So music-wise, I've been listening to a lot of bossa nova and like Brazilian jazz. I think because I've just been spending a lot of time at home and reorganizing and working. All summer or all year I've been listening to a lot of like Rosalia and Bad Bunny. I can't really think of a movie. I feel like it's not my best movie year, but I really enjoyed watching Scam Italia because I was sick for 2 weeks. I also just started learning Italian, so it was the perfect combination. By the way, at the moment we are in the Bergmannkiez. I think it's a really cute area, so if you're visiting Berlin, I definitely recommend spending an afternoon here. Dramatic walk away. Now soaking up the sun here at Chamisso-Platz. I don't know how the fuck to pronounce that. Chamisso-Platz. The next thing I got asked a lot is, where are you from? So I'm half Swiss and half Filipina, and I live in Berlin now. Okay. Taking a water break, friends. Hydration is important. We are at our next location in Victoria Park. We've actually both never been here, and we are so like stunned by how beautiful it is. What? I brought these wasabi seaweed snacks. Can someone tell me if this is actually healthy, because I'm obsessed and it's a little too good to be true. What languages do you speak / what languages do you want to learn? So my native languages are English and Swiss German because I grew up in Switzerland and my mom is Filipino, so I spoke English at home. I also speak like the formal high German that you speak in Germany because that's what like our schools are taught in. I had Italian in school for a year and Japanese in school for a year. I actually started, I picked up Italian again, which I've been loving so much. And then a lot of people know that French is like my main language learning baby. I started learning it 10 years ago in school and I love it so much. I have kind of hit a wall, especially with my speaking, because I've just kind of been on my own. And so I started taking classes on Lingoda, which has been so fun. There's definitely something about having a teacher and students. If you've never heard of Lingoda, they're an online language school. You can book classes 24/7. They're all live with native level teachers. I've been taking a lot of single classes because I have been quite busy, so just kind of sprinkle them into my schedule or do one when I'm just in the mood. But they do offer these language learning sprints. You basically get challenged to take either 15 classes a month or 30 classes for 2 months. If you can do the whole challenge and show up every day, you actually get 50 to 100% cash back, which I think is so freaking cool. I really want to do a sprint, hopefully by end of the year when my schedule clears up a little bit. If you're gonna do a year abroad or move abroad or just want to learn a new language, definitely check them out. I think they do German, English, French, and Spanish. This is like the perfect preparation, and I think after 2 months you get to a level where you can pretty much speak and get around. Use my code, I'll have it below, and you can get 20 euros or $25 off your sprint registration, which is such a good deal. Thank you so much to Lingoda for sponsoring this video. I love y'all. I seriously love this so much. Please check it out. And yeah, I'm gonna keep snacking It is the most beautiful autumn day here in Berlin. I'm so happy it's sunny. We found this viewpoint in Victoria Park. It is insane. I never knew this existed in Berlin. Next question is, what advice would you give to your younger self? Or what advice would you give to yourself 1 year ago? Just believe in myself more as a person, as a human, and as a creative. I feel like I've had so many cool ideas, like creative ideas, but also business ideas. And I wish I would have just done them and believed in them. And I hope we can all do that a little bit more. It's so beautiful. You get a basically full 360 view of the city. Definitely one of my new fave spots. Sometimes I feel like living in Berlin is a bit like living in a video game, and you keep exploring the map more and finding treasure. We have found another facet of Victoria Park. I am obsessed and invested at this point. But the next question is, what are your plans for this coming autumn and winter? And I have to say I'm slightly scarred from my last Berlin winter. So this year round, the intention is just going to be like channeling coziness and warmth. I'm going to have all my warm clothes. I just bought winter boots. And yeah, I think just saving money and then going to cafes with friends and just being inside, drinking warm coffee and hot chocolates. And then part 2 is just, I really want to go on my fitness journey. Just started bouldering, like climbing, and yeah, I want to start going to the gym and just really get all my vitamins in, get all my serotonins in. That's gonna be my plan for the winter. What are your favorite books and best bookstores in Berlin? Off the top of my head, I would probably say Trevor Noah, Born a Crime. I don't know why, but I love comedy books, or like funny books, but I feel like he has a really good way of kind of mixing serious topics or explaining them in a way that's easy to understand and kind of more lighthearted. So I like that, and I also really like Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. Ooh, okay, oh my god, there's more. One of my all-time favorites is probably To Kill a Mockingbird. So good, and I have so many good memories of reading it. And then honestly, like everything that Sally Rooney writes. My favorite bookstore at the moment is She Said. I think it's just such like a great place to go and hang out anyway. They have a cafe in there. I take everyone who comes to visit Berlin there. Yesterday I got a recommendation for hopscotch. Apparently it's amazing, so I really need to go check that out. Okay, next question. Fuck. Oh my god, I'm scared. Like that. Wow, okay. I got asked so many questions about Berlin, moving to Berlin, the cost of living in Berlin, what it's like. Let me try and unpack this. Firstly, what is life like in Berlin? I am really enjoying it. I really love it. I love the people. I love all the green part. Like there's so many parks. There's so many cool cafes and events, and overall I feel like life is just really colorful here, and I feel like there's something for everyone. Yeah, and I just feel like as a creative, it inspires me a lot, it motivates me a lot. I love it. I feel like any city you want to move to nowadays it is difficult, and there's not one direct way in. So yeah, I guess it is about finding your way in, whether that be through school or a job or knowing people. The housing market is just a big, like you get really lucky or you get really unlucky. I feel like I keep meeting people who move here somehow. Everyone finds a way. People have asked about like the cost of living here or just the economics of living in Berlin, and I feel like you can make it work at around 1,000 euros. It really depends on your housing situation. I moved here from Switzerland, and for example, looking at the food, it's a lot more affordable here. The prices are going up though due to inflation, but overall, I mean, also comparing it to the US, for example, I feel like it's way more affordable, especially if you cook at home. I feel like going out though, like the restaurant scene or like food culture, I feel like that's more accessible here than in other places. And also like going to a bar, for 10 euros you can buy like 4 drinks if you get cheap ones. I don't really know that much about student life actually, because I haven't studied here. I just applied for school here twice, and I've like fucked that up, so that's literally the only experience. I've met and talked to a lot of students though. Obviously there's always downsides, but in general people seem to really enjoy it, and I feel like the nightlife here is really cool. People seem to have good time in Berlin. Next, someone wrote underground scene, punk kids and scene fest. I think I get the vibe of the question or like where it's going. I haven't been to that many events yet. I went to the queer market, for example, which was so freaking cool. Like a lot of queer people selling things or like offering services, and just the sweetest people ever there. Also just finding random events on Instagram that people just repost in their stories or whatever, and showing up and kind of seeing what's good. Another example is yesterday, Livina signed up to this newsletter and they said that they're having this like literary event, and we just showed up and we had a great time. Oh no, yesterday we also went to the Angela Davis speech. I just feel like you have to kind of keep your eyes and ears open, either finding or following people, venues or like stores that they always host events. So that's fun. Oh, and this is Park am Gleisdreieck. Do you sometimes feel overwhelmed by the amount of cool people in Berlin? And I chose this question because honestly, yeah, sometimes I feel like everyone is just so cool, especially with their style and what they're doing, and everyone's doing something creative. But I don't know, I feel like most like cool people I've talked to have been really nice. And at the end of the day, I guess it's about defining what cool is to you. I feel like people who are caring are cool. I feel like people who embrace cringe are cool, and I don't know, I guess there are a lot of cool people in Berlin, but it's not necessarily in a bad way. Next! There are just such vast green spaces. What is on your life bucket list? I feel like I've done so much that I already wanted to do. I do feel really like content in life about that. I feel like I traveled a good chunk. I feel like I get to live a really cool, creative life. But one thing I would still like to do is create a big piece of art that a lot of people enjoy, or that is valuable to a lot of people, like write a book or make a movie or write a song or an album. Next, I got a lot of people asking about a uni update, art school application, like what the whole deal is on that. So basically, I applied to study art history in Berlin this year, and I didn't have, like, my hopes weren't that high. I just find the bureaucracy really complicated, especially I speak German and I find it really hard, so I can't even imagine how people who don't really speak German do it. But basically I fucked up my school application. I didn't hand in all of the documents needed, and I even applied for the wrong thing. I accidentally applied for the second semester instead of the first. I didn't even know you could do that, so that's my update on uni. My plan now is to just take the next year and apply for art schools, apply for art history, and just see what other courses I can find. I just really want to enroll in school or university in a year from now. Yeah, that'll have been 3 years of me trying to get into school, but it's okay. In a way, I feel kind of grateful that I didn't get in now, because I don't know, I'm really happy. I feel like my schedule is really full already. I don't know how I would have juggled school with it. Yeah. And overall, I think my dream would be to study in Berlin. That would be so fun. But I feel like there are so many people trying to come and study here, so I don't want to get my hopes up too high. Hopefully I get in someday. The next question ties right into the last, which is, what are your plans for the future? I really want to explore another career pathway, especially something that's a little more grounded in the real world. I love my job so much. I love doing social media. It's like my dream job, but it's also, working in social media is such a mind fuck, because somehow it's everywhere, but also it's doesn't exist. It's so intangible, and I would really like to work with a team or work on a cause that's like bigger than me. And other than that, just kind of, I don't know, learn to be an adult and learn how to live life and enjoy it. Never stop making art. That is definitely the grand plan. Oh, I keep telling this to everyone. I really want to be a music producer by 30, and that's why I'm starting to learn music production right now. Yeah, that's like my low-key goal. Hi everyone, it's a couple of days later. As you could see in the previous clip, it was getting pretty late and thus pretty dark. So I'm at home now, and I thought I would just answer a couple more questions to kind of round out this session. But there are so many more amazing questions that you all have sent me, and I really need to do a part 3. What cameras do you use for photography? I use the Canon 5D Mark III. I really love it. I'm just like a Canon user for life. I really like the colors. I really like the look. Yeah, what a lot of people don't know who are starting out with photography is camera is important, but your lens is going to really shape the look of your photos. So I personally use the Sigma 35mm, I think 1.4 or 1.2. I love it so much. It looks amazing for portraits. In the future, I would like to get a wider angle just because I want to do more fashion stuff. Or like interiors. And then I also have my analog setup, so there I just have a Canon AE1 with a 50mm lens. It's like a standard kind of thing, and I love, let me actually pull her up real quick. This thing is my baby. I love her so much. We go way back. You know, I got her 5 years ago at this sketchy ass stall at a flea market. I've definitely taken my absolute favorite photos on this. I think because it's so small, I just oftentimes carry it with me and capture like pretty spontaneous and just raw moments. Next, I had so many people asking me for advice for people who want to start a creative path, especially young people. Obviously, there's not one answer, and there's so many components that kind of feed into this. So again, I would love to make a whole video about this. I would also love to do a series on freelancing. My main advice for the moment is to just keep going. Keep on going. I'm actually going to put up like a screenshot of an Instagram post that I saw recently that really resonated with me. Most creatives, I mean, they spend like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years just figuring out their own style, figuring out which medium they even want to work in, figure out how they can like a good business model. So it really takes time. I mean, I've been taking photos since I was like 8 years old. That's pretty much like, how old am I now? That's like 14 years. And I'm still learning so much. I still feel like I'm a beginner, especially kind of in the industry. Literally the first few years are gonna be your ugly phases. So you just gotta keep pushing, keep going. When I look at my peers, when I look at artists that I admire, like the really interesting stuff comes like after pushing. You just need to keep picking yourself up and try new angles. Now, 2 short questions just to finish off. My friend Helena asked, what's your favorite thing to bake? And I gotta go basic but classic here. Chocolate chip cookies. I think it's just so rewarding in the end to eat them. I love chocolate chip cookies. And finally, my friend Mo asked, which Maté brand do you prefer? So if you didn't know, Berlin is kind of known for, you know, there being a lot of Maté drinkers because of the club scene or like night scene, you know. Maté has a lot of, I think, caffeine, so helps you stay up while you're dancing all night. And I have to say that personally, I haven't gone out and tested all of the Maté brands out there. I haven't quite arrived at the Maté craze personally. There's this one brand I like called Macaba that make this kind of lemon iced tea Maté, and I feel like it's pretty light and fresh. I really like that. In Berlin, at least some students I've spoken to, they just have Maté like instead of coffee. So they like drink Maté while studying, which I've never heard before, and I think that's really fun. So yeah, a little fun fact for you. All right, if you've watched all the way through the end, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for listening to all my questions. Thank you to everyone who asked them. This was, again, so much fun to film. Please let me know your video suggestions or ideas I really want to make this channel, I guess, more collaborative and also make stuff that I know that y'all want to see. One final time, I wanted to say a huge thank you to Lingoda for sponsoring this video. Please click the link down below, check it out. I just had a Lingoda class today. It was so freaking hard. And I made so many mistakes, which was really embarrassing, but you know, you gotta get through the ugly phases whenever you're learning stuff. Can't wait to keep on making videos. I think I'm like slowly getting into a more consistent flow. I don't know. And I'm also really excited for the autumn season and hopefully to make more Berlin autumn content. Okay, have a beautiful day and see you soon. Bye.